Hey, what's up? It's Stu. So, I don't need to tell you what's been going on or what seems to be going on with the Genshin content creation scene, or perhaps the Hoyoverse content creation scene in general, since many of the Genshin CCs, having beef right now with each other. Also do Star Rail content because, why not? You got Tectone, Atsu, Fobmaster, Envy, quite a few content creators actually, it feels like anyway, duking it out on social media everywhere, like on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, just to name a few. Like, what's going on? Why is everyone at each other's throats like they're fighting for the last bottle of Modelo on a Friday night? Well, I'm not the best person to tell you exactly how it all started. In fact, some of you guys in the comments can actually explain it better than I can. However, what I can do is try to explain to you why this is all happening. And to me, it makes pretty good sense, so hear me out for a bit. The big catalyst for this was clearly the Lantern Rite drama, with specifically the Chinese server when the Chinese Genshin players started doing what Western Genshin players did back in our first anniversary by writing online in response to the Chinese developer livestream for 4.4. If you've heard about it, then you've probably heard more than enough times about how the Chinese players were blowing up every single official social media account Genshin had, with the whole, losing 3 million followers and all that. And then, from what I could tell, we foreign content creators started taking notice and began jumping on that train too, and that caused people to raise the question of criticizing Genshin, which content creators took and ran with to the point where now you got these big name content creators, Hoyoverse content creators, giving out hot takes and making allegations and addressing the allegations videos or streams that you've been seeing them doing most recently. So again, why? Why is all this happening? Because if you feel like this kind of content creator drama and infighting came out of nowhere, I don't blame you, because as far as I'm concerned, this is the furthest that drama among Hoyoverse creators has gone. Like, I know there had been previous incidents in the past, like I know the recent Atsu drama, Tectone deliberately copied one of Atsu's thumbnails from like 2 years ago, back when they had beef back then, or whatever that drama was. I'm not familiar with that one, so you can go look that up on your own. I'm more concerned with what's happening right now, obviously. But again, it might have been worse in the past, is the point that I'm trying to make. But you'll have to excuse me for not knowing those times, because, again, it's only recently that I've been getting more seriously involved personally with the content creation side of Genshin. First things first, if you happen to be legitimately concerned about all this drama, then I would tell you not to really worry about it, because like 80 to 90% of all this shit is like thinly disguised clickbait designed to farm views from y'all. There might actually be some beef between some of the creators out there, I'm sure, but don't expect this to devolve into some kind of shit like, I don't know, meeting outside of Denny's near the LA Convention Center at 11 p.m. on day 2 of Anime Expo. Though, from the few minutes of me looking up the Atsu drama, yeah, that might seem a little more serious, so if Braxophone and Atsu do agree to meet up at Anime Expo this year, I might actually go buy a 4-day ticket just to see that. So for those of you out there who don't like drama content, which I imagine is actually quite a lot of you out there since, silent majority and all that, maybe like, at this point, damn bro, like why these content creators gotta make such obvious clickbait shit all the time these days, right? Like, do they really not have anything better to make videos about? Like, damn, what's going on here? Actually, yes, that is part of the reason, but in order to understand that, we have to go back to the game itself that started all this. Genshin Impact is a casual game. Most veteran players have known this for at least the past 2 years. I knew it a month into playing the game, and I've been playing Genshin for the past 3 years. Essentially, the core reason why there's so much drama content now, as in these past several weeks, is simply because there's nothing better to do in terms of content. In my opinion, Genshin content creators, at least many of the bigger ones, are at this point running on fumes in terms of actual gameplay related content to make. I think the core reason why there's so much drama content going around right now, as in these past several weeks, is simply because there's nothing better to do in terms of content. Like, in my opinion, Genshin content creators, or at least many of the bigger ones, are at this point pretty tired of their usual routine of Genshin content. For your average big name creator, they typically engage in what I categorize as 3 main kinds of content: gacha pulls, character videos, and future patches. And while depending on the creator, they can make extra content that's different from those three are their bread and butter because this is some of the most lucrative content that they can put on their channels or stream. While yes, there is a good variety of gameplay related content on YouTube, for example, exploration guides, puzzle guides, story quest playthroughs, lore videos, if you count those, more in-depth videos about game mechanics, and of course everyone's favorite meme videos, if you, again, consider those to be gameplay related, you're typically not going to see the bigger CCs make content like this, right? Maybe they used to at one point, back when Genshin first came out, but for many of them, once their audiences, grew past a certain point over the years, they decided to make more surface level content, because that's both easy for them to make and easy for their viewers to watch, which means they can't make more engaging videos anymore since it's just not worth it for them. I think that a perfect fourth content staple would actually be something gameplay related, and technically it already is, right? A lot of Genshin CCs post videos about them clearing a new Abyss cycle whenever one comes out, but that's the thing, right? In Genshin, Abyss clears are the only place to get, dare I say, endgame footage from, and I don't need to tell you the state of endgame content in Genshin Impact now, do I? The issue now is that Genshin's been around for more than 3 years at this point, and MiHoYo hasn't shown any sign that they'll be giving Genshin any more, serious gameplay content anytime soon. Even worse, it seems like the meltdown that the Chinese Genshin server was having for most of January, it seems like at this point, is finally starting to die down, and MiHoYo allegedly hasn't budged at all, despite everything that the Chinese players did. And if Tectone's Shenyun video recently is any indication, just by looking at the title and thumbnail and knowing the context behind that video without having to even watch it, I'm just gonna assume that Shenyun's banner was business as usual for MiHoYo. In other words, there's nothing truly exciting and new for the big name Genshin CCs to look forward to in terms of content that they can use to make videos from. Sure, technically, there's new content in the form of new characters and regions, but again, that's just part of the formula. And the formula itself has stayed the same for the past 3 years, basically, and doesn't look to be changed anytime soon. So a lot of these, bigger Genshin creators are, I would say, definitely feeling a degree of content fatigue, even if that content is still doing pretty well. And the problem then is, because the vast majority of creators have built their channels on Genshin, if they try to deviate from it and make videos that aren't Genshin or at least Star Rail related, they're typically going to take a massive hit to their view counts, right? Couple examples of this. Slice's Granblue video, though I think that was a sponsored video, or at least it seemed like it, and obviously the sponsorship money should make up for the, the dip in view counts, but still, sponsored videos are typically, one and done, so I doubt he'll make another one again. MTash's and Brax's Warcraft Rumble videos, hell, even Code's Z3 video, despite Z3 being a Hoyoverse game, it's just that it's not fully released yet, to be fair. So, since they can't easily pivot to other games to make content with, they're forced to continue this whole usual Hoyoverse content loop with no end in sight. So thanks to all this, the question of Genshin criticism, as in how do you criticize Genshin, or how do you get MiHoYo to listen to the players to make it a better game, has been a pretty hot topic lately, if the fact that, it was one of the topics that we covered over on GachaCast was any indication. And that's how we finally get to today, with all these Genshin creators, roasting each other and shit, because this is inevitably what happens. At least to me, this makes sense. It makes sense why this is happening. You have a game where endgame content hasn't changed once in the past 3 years since its launch. The complaints that its hardcore players, and a lot of its content creators for that matter, have about it have slowly but surely intensified over those years. They've surged alongside a social media meltdown over in the Chinese server recently. And finally, in this sort of atmosphere of general discontent, if you will, because it's now very easy to openly criticize the game more so than ever before, you have content creators now criticizing each other because the circumstances currently allow for this sort of volatility to happen in the first place, to dominate the headlines now. And besides, a ton of people out there just love a good drama. I mean, this is the internet after all, and the more polarizing the actors, the better, and the juicier. So, for the creators who don't mind getting their hands a little dirty, if you don't mind, throwing out clickbait drama videos, like, you know, they're those tabloids that you see whenever you line up at the, you know, the register in like a supermarket or something. Yeah. This shit is the easiest, you know, content. It's the easiest content that they're ever gonna make. A literal gold mine of clicks and views worth more than any stupid C6 character poll. I mean, hey, if trying to roast MiHoYo themselves didn't work out, then you just gotta settle for the next best thing, which is roasting other Genshin players, apparently. Surely MiHoYo will put in Abyss floors 13 to 16 or something, now that Twitter's doing their best to cancel Atsu right now, right? For the record, before you guys feel the need to point this out to me down in the comments, yes, obviously drama can happen in any online community, and even if Genshin did have, you know, proper endgame content that we all kind of envisioned for, at least all of us hardcore players, the potential for drama, given how big the game itself and, you know, the community too for that matter, would always be there, of course. But watching all this unfold from the sidelines here, I just feel like this was a very predictable and avoidable, more importantly, situation that we have on our hands right now if a lot of CCs weren't so trigger happy with criticizing the game and thereby each other. To be completely transparent here, personally, I don't mind all this drama going around right now, since I'm the kind of motherfucker to just kick back with a can of Arizona tea, preferably orange or grape, and watch the world burn if it's entertaining, you know, chaotic neutral and all that. And hey, I don't mind getting into a bit of drama myself, you know, if some of the videos I've made in the past are any indication. At the same time though, I'm not going to do anything to make the drama any better or worse than it is now, unless of course I feel a need to get involved myself because I have a personal stake in it or something like that. Like, I'm not going to get on Twitter and waste your time with my own shitty hot takes on this sort of bullshit when Twitter is already, you know, 98% shitty hot takes to begin with. I mean, you're only going to find mostly fan art of big titty anime girls on my Twitter anyway, so good luck finding some dirt on me. You're gonna need it. I will make a video like this one, to be fair, but that's more because I like thinking about things more on a macro level, how things got to where they are now from like a big picture point of view. I mean, I did major in history back when I was in college, so yeah, should check out that. And personally, I prefer to, you know, only make comments about drama once I hear both sides of it, or at the very least, I feel like I know enough already to make a judgment, right? So until that happens, my official stance is everyone involved in whatever kind of drama is floating around out there is fucking stupid, right? This autism is rated E for everyone, myself included. But hey, that's just kind of goes without saying because gacha players are fucking retarded. Again, because transparency is kind of my thing, unlike a lot of others, I will say that I don't know the full details of all the drama going around right now. Like, there's a pretty good chance that I'm just totally misconstruing everything going on, and this video is just completely, like, way off the mark or something. So, if that's the case or whatever, go watch another video if you want to get caught up with all the drama. I think Box put out a video recently where he makes a chart of all the drama, like he's from that one, you know, conspiracy meme or whatever. Though I think that's most likely just him gaslighting people. But hey, if nothing else, you know, I did say this was literal free content, and seeing that I'm a broke-ass bitch who wasted all his money on gacha games, pretty much, of course I'm gonna fucking try and cash in on this shit. You kidding me? Anyways, that's just my crappy own 2 cents on the whole Genshin creator drama scene going around right now. It is stupid, yeah, but we're all dumb gacha game players here, so this is just kind of on brand for us, I would imagine. And like I said, I'm just here to laugh at everyone involved. If you enjoyed what I had to say about this, then hit the like and subscribe buttons, because my next big Genshin video is related to some of the stuff that I discussed here, and you don't want to miss it. So, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.